Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel and witnessing this beautiful chocolatey goodness, oh my god. You're welcome. I'm humble, I promise. And if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for the support of my channel. I mustn't forget to say that from time to time. So welcome back. First of all, my usual disclaimer, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Please do not go searching out anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comment, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So today's video has to be one of the most ridiculous takes I've ever seen on TikTok. Let me go right ahead and play that video.
This is how much people fucking hate fat people. They just hate them. Like there's like this weird hatred it feels almost akin to racism.
This is not like racism, it is racism. Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness. And the reason why people are pursuing thinness is because they're pursuing proximity to whiteness. The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people. And appearing curvier, bigger is associated with blackness, especially black women. And that's why they're discriminated in the workplace, overly sexualized. And this has gone back for centuries and centuries. All systems of oppression, capitalism, sexism, racism, it all comes back to white supremacy, which is the foundation of the fabric of America and rules every sector and aspect of our society.
I never thought a day would come where I'll be trying to connect the dotted lines between fatphobia and anti-blackness. Like, how do these people come up with these takes? So she was replying to that guy's video that was basically complaining about how fat people are hated. That this hatred of fat people can be compared to racism. And she said, yes, it actually is racism. So anti-fatness now is rooted in anti-blackness. So the way I'm understanding it, if I'm understanding it well, she's trying to say being fit is basically owned by white people, while being fat is basically owned by black people. Like, how do you come off trying to speak up for your group of people? Because I believe she's fat. I saw some of her videos. How do you try to speak up for your people and end up sounding racist in the process? Because you're basically associating blackness with fatness, and I don't understand. How did you arrive at that? Like, every black person she knows is fat. I'm just going to go right ahead and play people's stitches at this point.
Black people.
This just might be the perfect example of trying so hard to be woke and intellectual that you end up going full circle and falling right into holding a bigoted viewpoint. So if anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness, that means that hating fat people comes from hating black people, which means that being fat is a characteristic primarily associated with black people. You might need to go back to the drawing board with that idea.
It is racism. And
sorry, I couldn't let you finish that dumbass statement because I'm personally tired of hearing this shit. Oh, and also, I will say this shit one last time. It's more like a question, but can anybody explain to me what anti-blackness is? Because if we're applying your logic, then all the black celebrities that have gotten in shape for movie roles are completely against black people. They're usually the ones that advocate for a lot of black movements, so explain that shit to me. If the image of quote-unquote whiteness is being in shape, then all these racist fat motherfuckers are doing something wrong. I can't help but think that y'all are just using black people. Like, it's like y'all really be using black people as a template to talk about shit so people feel bad about it, when in reality it has nothing to do with black people at all. Not to mention that it feels like the dude in the video that she's stitching is projecting hard as fuck, considering I have not met one person that has had a deep-rooted hatred for fat people.
Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-blackness.
Does anybody ever wonder when they watch these videos if these people even know a black person? Can you imagine if someone was like, yeah, they don't like fat people because they don't like you. Like, you're a representation of fat people. What the f?
The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people.
This is a really good example of oppression privilege. See, if you always say that you're oppressed, you never have to take responsibility for your situation in life. You can always blame racism or sexism or misogyny or the patriarchy, and you can always be a victim.
Especially black women.
Wow, that's a lot of claims you made there. I wonder if you're going to provide evidence for a single one of them. No? What? You mean you can go online and make a bunch of claims and thousands of people will believe you, even if you provide no evidence or reasoning as for it being true? That's crazy. That's really crazy. I could not find any evidence for basically anything you said, such as obesity being associated with black people or associated with black women, or that fat phobia was driven by race. No evidence for it at all. I couldn't find it. I did find evidence that African American women have the highest rate of obesity or being overweight compared to other groups in the United States. 4 out of 5 African American women are overweight or obese. So there is that, right? So we can say maybe perhaps people will associate African American women with obesity, but that would be a correct stereotype. Just because something is a stereotype obviously doesn't mean it's wrong, right? If you can say, oh, well, I associate obesity, like I think black women are more obese. That's just true. There's nothing wrong with making that observation.
And that's why they're discriminated in the workplace, overly sexualized, and this has gone back for centuries and centuries.
Okay, even more claims with no evidence. So as far as discrimination goes, I found that self-reported discrimination in the workplace for black men and black women was about the same. And there's no evidence that that discrimination is pushed by fat phobia. The black woman being overly sexualized, that seems like a relatively arbitrary claim to make. If you're saying they're more sexualized than other groups, I would need to see proof of that. Most of the literature I could find related to that topic was about personal experiences and anecdotal evidence, which of course is very common in critical race theory, which is what this is.
Systems of oppression, capitalism, sexism, racism, it all comes back to white supremacy, which is the foundation of the fabric of America.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? And where this gets weird is when it overlaps with critical fat theory. So she's saying fat phobia is racist. But what is fat phobia? Well, in an earlier video, she says,
Your parents would not buy any soda.
She said your parents were fat phobic if they didn't buy you any soda. And we see other similar people, they say, I want to lose weight is fat phobic. Or they'll say,
you are losing weight because you want to feel better, be in less pain, be healthier, all of these things. That's fat phobic.
Yeah, so the intertwining of critical race theory and critical fat theory is if you want to feel better, if you want to lose weight, if you want to be in shape, you're racist. You're a racist bigot. Chew on those apples, buddy. You racist. For going to the gym, racist bigot, buddy. Yeah.
Why people hate fat people is because people hate black people and appearing curvier.
All right, let's get something straight. Your comparison with fatness and blackness, very strange, okay? And also, people do not hate fat people because they hate black folks, right? They hate fatness because they associate fatness with being infertile, unhealthy, lazy, undesirable, all those things. That's pretty much it. And also, thickness and fat, those are two different things, right? Being thick and being fat, two different categories, right? If we look on the right, that is fat. If you look on the left, that is thick or curvy. People will hate what is on the right, but they will still find what is on the left as attractive, right? They still find the thickness and the curves that you mostly see on black women, right, as attractive. It is not them saying that they hate black women because they find what is on the right as undesirable. That's pretty much it.
The reason why people hate fat people is because people hate black people and appearing curvier.
So you do know there's countries, that's with an S, plural, that does not have obesity. A bunch of black countries.
Anti-fatness is rooted in anti-black.
I'm so tired of all these BS arguments. People say, oh, beautiful at any size or any weight, whatever. I don't believe in the idea of fat phobia. I think that people need to be encouraged to try to take care of themselves and be healthy. I'm 45 and I'm 280 pounds or so. This is me when I was in my 20s. I was probably somewhere around getting close to 600 pounds. I had gastric bypass 23 years ago, and to be honest, it saved my life. Honestly, I think if people are encouraging others to just stay in their morbid obesity or whatever, that's the real oppression, because people aren't living their best life and like that.
It is racist.
So I know you've seen this floating around by now, but here's my question. Are they saying that fat people are a different race of people? Because that's racist. You're dehumanizing them by saying they're a different race. Come on now. You guys are being incredibly insensitive and hypocritical. And you guys need to do better. Have a good night.
People, and appearing curvier, bigger is associated with blackness, especially black women.
Really? Okay. I know a lot of people probably in the comments are gonna say like I'm being racist also. But let's just say one thing. If you're curvy, chubby, fat, if you want to say it like that, that doesn't mean like it's only associated with black people. Like you could be all that being white. And if you say like, you know, maybe she didn't mean that, she should have said that in her claim, because it seems like she was the one being racist. Bro, these are grown-ass adults. Grown-ass adults making these idiotic claims and then idiotic arguments and think that they basically just solved like the world's biggest mystery. You didn't, honey. You know what you ended up solving? That humans can be so fucking stupid. Y'all gonna make this elaborate plan of freaking anti-fatness and anti-blackness, mix that all together to make an elaborate plan to say, like, yeah, being fat and also being black is considered racist. If you don't like this fat person, then you're racist. You're just racist. You're racist. Like, let me say it again. You guys are grown adults making these idiotic claims that are obviously not true. Like, do you not have places to be? Do you not have people to see? Like, do you got errands to run? You guys seem to be living alone. You got bills to pay? You got taxes to pay? You guys look deceased. You guys look 50 years old. You got children? Take care of them children.
So, like, you guys, I don't know. I'm just weak. Are you guys laughing along with me? Like, what was that? You know, it amazes me how everybody wants to be oppressed. And the moment they try to be oppressed, they try to compare whatever situation they think they are being oppressed in to black people's situation. Like, that means you all know how bad black people have it. So you think you're having it bad. So the best way you can describe how bad you're having it is by comparing it to the struggles of black people. Make it make sense. So now you're talking about black people that were born with this skin that cannot change it, and you're comparing their struggle now to you or to fat people basically. And I'm not one to body shame, but as far as I know, a fat person can actually change the way they look. In most situations, there are probably health situations where it's not possible, but in most situations, you can actually do things that will make you not be fat, right? You can go to the gym, whatever, do surgery, lose weight. But what can a black person do to change this? Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, and it always amazes me because I know this whole fat phobia is a thing, fat shaming people. People are getting dragged and cancelled for fat phobia. Like, people get cancelled for pretty much anything these days. But when a person makes the point of duty to always complain about fat phobia, like how people hate fat people hate you because you're fat, your life is miserable because you're fat, you're losing opportunities because you're fat. Like, if you're that bothered about being fat, that means you're not confident in the way you look. You probably don't like it yourself. So you can change that about yourself. But a black person, no matter how bothered they are about the anti-black things they have to face in life and all of that, there's really nothing you can do about being black. So you cannot compare the struggle of a fat person to, say, a black person as regards to the fact that one can actually change their narrative while the other really can't. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So it's just crazy that she drew that comparison in the first place, because that video is almost a year old right now. The fact that she left that video up and she didn't take it down, even with all the stitches and, you know, the backlashes and all of that, she probably believes that thing that she said. She probably believes everything she said in that video, and I find it funny. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section, because her trying to draw a comparison between the thick bodies of black women to fat people, there's a difference between being thick and being fat, right? So, like, you guys let me know, what do you guys think about this comparison between fatness and blackness? And what do you guys also think about the fact that everybody tries to associate their struggle or compare their struggle to black people's struggles? It's an actual thing, and I don't know. I don't think it sits right with me. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.